It's the NFL on EA Sports, and the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the Los Angeles Rams and the Denver Broncos, and it kicks off next on Madden NFL 24.
We find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a pretty good one on tap here, as it'll be the Los Angeles Rams taking on the Denver Broncos. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. Kickoff just moments away. Charles, quickly, keys to the game.
For me, it's coaching. Who prepared his team the best going into this one to give them the confidence to believe that they would win the game? That's who's going to come out of this one on top.
And off we go from Denver. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. And they will be led out by a guy certainly still trying to prove himself here in the league, the young rookie quarterback.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on second down.
Ball at the 26, 2nd and 7. Looking to throw. Nix. That's into the hands of McLaughlin. Oh, he shifts past him. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A gain there of 21 yards.
And as you're game planning as a staff, you go through all the different ways you can neutralize the other guy's pass rushers. Extra linemen, leave a tight end in, bring the running backs back in to block. Or you can do this, a little simple screen pass, and it works to perfection.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Wayne territory. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
Off play action. Nix. He'll let this go deep for Sutton. And this is caught inside the 5. A huge play there for Denver. 45 yards.
Things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone, this time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us or their game plan, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door, 1st and goal. Williams will take it in. Touchdown, Denver.
Like what we saw right there, good running down near the goal line because that was a really good drive. They were able to possess the ball, have some early success moving it downfield, and then clearly the most important thing, finishing things off with the ball in the end zone.
Will Lutz on for the point after. And he's got it. 7-0 Broncos. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it was capped off by a Javonte Williams touchdown. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And as we see so frequently here in Colorado, that one over the end line, so it'll come out to the 25. So out come the Rams now for their first possession. Leading the charge at quarterback, the former Georgia Bulldog, Matthew Stafford.
And Matthew Stafford was taken first overall in the 2009 draft, and he certainly played like a top pick. Throughout his career, he's been one of the most prolific passers in the league, and there's no reason to believe he's going to slow down his production anytime soon. Not only that, he's also one of the tougher quarterbacks in the league as well.
Stafford and the Rams come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They begin the drive with Williams. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Well, he may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
A big hole there. How about him handling the point of attack? Just positioning himself so that run could go right off of his backside and deep into the secondary.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Throwing is Stafford. He'll get this complete to Cooper Kupp. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. It's another first down as this time they get an even 20. That's his first catch of the game and an impressive one against multiple defenders.
And how about that start? Really aggressive. Yeah, there was double coverage out there, but that didn't stop them at all. They went right at it and defeated it on that play.
From their own 40 to the other 40. The gain of 20 leads to 1st and 10. Up the middle, it's Williams. And a pretty good run there as he gets 7 down to the 33.
Next, the receivers help spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
Williams going to get it again on 2nd down. And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line. It's a Rams first down on a pickup of 10. A couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time. That's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. And they are able to stop it, but he does take it all the way to the 2. A good pickup there, 21 yards. So they gave up the early touchdown. This has been a pretty good response. Nice drive, taking it down 1st and goal.
And I know all the cliches jump in, right? Don't get away from your game plan too early. Make sure you're settled down. Don't panic. But it's all true, isn't it? Because otherwise, you get out of what you plan to do during the game, and it's still early. Don't get crazy because you gave one up. Just respond as you just noted. All of a sudden, those lanes that were there earlier in the drive dry up near the goal line. That's a good job defensively to diagnose the run and stop it for a very short pickup.
Williams is going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown.
That's a great response here in this first quarter. And what I like about it is how they put this drive together. The other guy scored quickly to start the game, but this was smart football to not feel like you have to go out and score quickly yourself. So they worked the ball down the field, took their time, and finished with the touchdown run.
Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. The long drive last time out for this offense, Charles, if you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now, but let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. A pass there over the middle to start things out. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
I know this may be jumping the gun a little bit, but 7-7, they're flinging it around like crazy. Look at the drive that's going on here. Partner, we may have to start thinking about one of these defenses just holding someone to a field goal and maybe trying to get an advantage that way.
A pass there complete to Sutton. His second catch. This one not quite as dynamic as his first, and it's second down. These two teams all tied after one. Second quarter about to begin from Denver. It's the Broncos in possession of the football. Ball right on the 50-yard line. Here's a second down and 4. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He'll find his tight end. It's Adam Troutman. His first catch, good for 8 and a first down.
That was a route run, not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
The give is to McLaughlin. He'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards.
But no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Now 2nd and 3. Off the play fake. Nix. And this one is incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Back to throw. Nix. He's got his target. That's complete. But I don't think he got there. No. He's short by maybe a foot. Maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
Receivers love having the reputation of being go-to guys on 3rd down. And he was fighting like he really wanted to have that reputation, didn't he? I mean, he came very close to making that a first down.
Broke the one tackle, but couldn't spring himself free. They run. It's Williams. A solid stiff arm. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The conversion is successful with a sizable gain of 13, and the decision to go for it looks like a smart one. The field goal would have been a pretty decent length, but I'm still kind of surprised they didn't kick it.
Yeah, I know, because you think you take the 3 there, trust him, but at the same time, if you can't pick up a few inches in this situation, you probably don't deserve to win the game anyway. Go get it, and they did.
So this drive going to continue following the conversion on 4th. Here's 1st and 10. Mims in motion right. He's going to get it on the jet sweep. And that is well read there defensively. He was looking to use his speed to get the edge, but they said no way. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave them with still about 8 or 9 to go on third down. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. To throw on third down, Nix. Pass taken in by his big tight end. Touchdown, Broncos. Adam Troutman, an 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Broncos have taken the lead.
As a general rule, quarterbacks don't want to lock in on a receiver before the ball is snapped. But in this case, based on the matchup he thought he was going to get, it was favorable for his tight end. He locked in on him early and found him for a touchdown.
Lutz to try to add the PAT. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. A 10-play drive that time. And it culminates in a touchdown by the Broncos. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And able to get this out to the 25. So the Rams coming back onto the field, their second drive of the game. As this offense comes back out here, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game. And they've been on the sideline for a while. They did score their last time out, but they just had to watch that long, sustained drive. So we'll see if they can shake the rust off.
Yeah, and that's always a question that you have when you have to come off the bench after having sat there for a long time. Are you ready to go? Are you loosened up? But even more so, are you mentally alert and ready to put your best product out there?
On first down, it's Stafford. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
Have to give some credit to the defender on that when he read all of his keys perfectly and got a great break on the ball and able to force that incompletion.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now it's Stafford. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Levi Wallace with a pick. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And they'll have good field position here following the interception and a chance to build on their lead as they start with a 1st and 10. They go play action here on first down. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
Oh, boy, partner, did that just happen? I've got my hand over my eyes right now because, like him, it's going to haunt my dreams, too. He was wide open. How did he overthrow him there?
Defensively, just very lucky. You know that they got away with one there. On second down, Williams. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable third down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter, 14-7. They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6. Operating from the gun, Nix. And that is incomplete. The LA defense up the snuff in coverage there. Pushes this to 4th down.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
Now Lutz for the field goal try. From the right hash, this from an even 40 yards out. The kick by Lutz is good. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The offense for Los Angeles returns to the field. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to want to look to hit a couple shorter passes and get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal is not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
2nd and 10. Stafford. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they did completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
On 3rd down, here's Williams. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the 1st at the 32. And hold on here because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. So on 4th down, on is Ethan Evans to punt for the Rams. And Marvin Mims deep for Denver. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. Taken in at the 22. It'll be a 44-yard punt. The return goes for 8. And the Broncos take over. 1st down and 10. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense.
Yep.
Run what
Put
you
your
do
foot on
best.
the gas.
Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Now a throw for the left sideline, and he's got it. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, mini camp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
Open man, and again it's Sutton. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. On 1st and 10, Nix.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
Here's 2nd and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the 1st down marker. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
They asked him to take charge and get them to a spot where they could at least attempt a kick before the half, and he does just that. Didn't trust what he saw downfield, so he took it upon himself to get them into field goal range using his legs. That's coming through with a play they needed in a big spot.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. The LA defense up to snuff in coverage there. Pushes this to 4th down.
I tell you what, that's a veteran play from a guy in his 1st season in the NFL. A lot of rookies are trying to force something there. He thought better of it, and that was the right decision.
A 53-yard attempt.
The kick by Lutz is good. And that will open the lead up now to 20-7. Still a little bit of time left here in the 2nd quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that. And we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this 1st half as the kick's away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
At their own 28-yard line.
The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Jonah Jackson, former 3rd-round pick, the guilty party. They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. So we're at halftime here in Denver with the Broncos leading this one. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, back to you two in just a bit. But first, welcome everyone to downtown Orlando and our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail here as we resume play. And he returns this to the 22. Out come the Rams. They'll have it first here to begin the 3rd quarter. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well, and they've kept them around in this game. Now, they've got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
54 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
On second down, here's Stafford. That's caught. It's DeMarcus Robinson. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down. Here's Stafford. And that was going to be off target and incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Now a 2nd and 10. Now a give up the middle to Williams. And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
A lot depending on the spot there, and he got it. But it wasn't by much, was it? I remember Coach Madden talking about, depending on which foot the official used, that would tell you whether you got the first down or not. You want that upfield foot to be the one that spots the ball, don't you?
And you and I have the luxury of a couple extra views here in the booth, and he did get it, but not by much. And he's got it to about the 40.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
2nd and 6. Now it's Stafford off the bootleg. Over the middle, that's hauled in by Cup. 2 yards on the pickup there. And now we've got a 3rd and 4.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. To throw is Stafford. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe-tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
A bit of an opening there on the first down run as they get this forward for about 6 yards.
And that's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Here now, 2nd and 4. Here's Stafford. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
The touch and time are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Stafford now to throw. And that nearly intercepted. Well, for a guy known for his hands defensively, that's a ball he probably thinks he should have come up with. And instead, it's 4th down.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
And his kick is indeed good. And that cuts into the deficit. It's now 20-10. So they were facing the deficit coming out of the locker room at intermission, and at least they're able to get the field goal to cut into that deficit.
Yeah, now your offense feels pretty good about itself, right? A little bit more up to speed coming out of the break. You turn to your defense now and say, hey, we got 3 there. We're chipping into the lead. Can you help us out? Hold them. And let's get the ball back for us.
Now Brown, after the made field goal, gets set for the kickoff. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Holding, offset.
All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center, because remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion, and sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block.
Looking to throw. Nix. He'll get this to his tight end, Troutman. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
That's another beautiful throw right there. It gets it to his man right in stride. And I think that throw kind of exemplifies what we've seen from this offense throughout this game. They've been in rhythm. They've been sharp. They've been on it. And they pick up another 1st down there.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 45-yard line.
Ball spotted at the 45. Here's 2nd and 4. Back to throw. Nix. That's to the sideline and incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he let him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's McLaughlin. And he's going to be a yard short. Needed 4, but got 3.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down. They just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
The Rams take over 1st and 10 at their own 46-yard line.
The Los Angeles offense set to begin their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Welcome back now to Denver. It's the Rams trailing, but they do have the football as we start the 4th and final quarter. Now Stafford. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just one target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target in the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. And in a two-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
From the 50, it's Stafford. His throw incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'm guaranteed he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Throwing again is Stafford. It's caught on the right side by Robinson. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 34-yard line. A new set of downs after a strong pickup of 16 yards.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a one-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Give him big credit for his coverage right there because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Now Stafford. And that one's going to come up a little short. It's incomplete. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
Again, it's Stafford. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And here's a spot where this offense says, we got to start making something happen. We're down 2 scores. It's the 4th quarter. We've got to start moving with some urgency. And here's a big play that gives them a ray of hope that they can get back in this one.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll try and run. This is Williams. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
Sometimes I think these defensive tackles get a little bit of a bum rap. We just see them as big guys that eat up blockers for others to make tackles. Oftentimes they're quicker than they get credit for. And this time he uses quickness to make a play.
Williams again. But he will lose yardage here as they knock him back to the 3. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
And now 3rd and goal coming up. The loss on 2nd down. That just means this crowd's going to get even louder. And they'll get a little bit of extra help from the defenders as they exhort them to join them in the effort.
Now Stafford on 3rd and goal. He had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete. So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
And his kick is right there. It's good. And that will tighten this one up a bit. Now a 1-score game at 20-13. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
Now Brown, after the made field goal, gets set for the kickoff. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. Right now clinging to a one-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead. A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll try and run down some clock with Williams. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
The Broncos on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Looking to throw. Nix. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. It'll go in the books as a sack and a loss of a yard, but more importantly, it leads to 4th down. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
They'll come up 1st and 10 here. Now it's Stafford. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds.
I got the sense that the defense created a little momentum for them there, didn't they?
Did their job, forced the punt. Now, nice start to the drive. Offense has to do their part.
Yeah, they certainly do, but what a great start for them. They've got to go thank the guys on D.
Stafford now to throw. Short throw, it's Higbee. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Stafford. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's going to have a Rams first down as they're able to convert, albeit not by much, on 3rd and a yard. Obviously a big first down right there.
Yeah, they still got to hustle. They got to get up to the line of scrimmage and get set. But I don't think necessarily you need to spike it, but they've got to continue to move quickly.
Now Stafford. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
They'll try again here. 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. Throw right side, going to be caught by Higbee. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 45-yard line.
Now you're right on the edge of field goal range. You've still got time, but get up to the line of scrimmage and get set.
2 timeouts still available in this final minute. It's 1st and 10 now. They'll look to throw. Finding Williams on the check down.
Personal foul. Face mask.
Well, certainly those are the types of mistakes they're trying to avoid as they attempt to protect this lead late in the game.
And let's face it, they're hoping that this one doesn't cost them in a significant way. Yeah, one guy committed a penalty, but now the entire defense has to pay the price and try and rise up and overcome it.
Back to throw. Over the middle and complete to the tight end, Higbee. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their second, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. Here's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Connecting with Kupp here on the out route.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the 7-yard line.
They'll come up now on 2nd down. He's back to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had a window to push that ball downfield, but as soon as he released the throw, the corner was there to slam that window shut.
A big play here. Crowd on their feet. 3rd and 4. Now it's Stafford. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Give him credit for excellent coverage, tight coverage. They're doing a lot of things that we talk about in basketball. They're causing disruptions in the passing game. And as long as that continues, it'll be tough for them to gain any momentum throwing the ball downfield.
No choice but to go. Here's 4th down now. Here we go on 4th. Stafford. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go through with such little time remaining, and this 10-play drive winds up yielding nothing. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. The win for the Broncos, seemingly assured. They go down to a knee. So this one will wind up a Denver victory, and it was a bit of a strange game. They were held scoreless through the entire second half, but their first half output, that's enough to carry them to victory.
And that's an odd game to watch, isn't it? Because when we saw the output in the first half, you think to yourself, okay, they've got something working here. They know what they're doing. They'll continue that along. But instead, it's goose eggs in the second half. Fortunately, enough of a cushion and enough defense to carry them home.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Broncos are winners, as we say.